Welcome back. We'll finish up shelf 4 today. This will be video 4, week 4, shelf 4, something along those lines. So this week we're going to talk about the classic thoroughbred horses. This is the classic scale. They were introduced in 1975-76. They were originally sculpted by Maureen Love for Hagen Renneker and produced in pottery. Breyer leased the rights to produce these molds in plastic. They produced them for several years up through the 70s, 80s, 90s. Somewhere in that time frame, the lease must have ran out, and they haven't been seen in the regular line for a very long time. So this week I get to spend most of the week telling you about how I'm not a variation collector, and I really am. And we'll start with Terang. Both of these are Terang, the original release in bay. Why do I have them both? One is quite dark and one definitely has more red bay coloring. It's an awesome mold, a great example of a thoroughbred horse, and I think they did a great job with the coloring on both of these, so both of them have to stay. Next we have the Draw Horses with Sam Savitt special run. This is from 1992. It came with a coloring book or how to draw horses with Sam Savitt book. So this was a special run. It's on the Kelso mold, bay with 4 stockings and the star. Pretty scarce and hard to come by. So then we have 2 more regular Kelsos. But I keep them both. Why? Because I like them. So the first one here is very semi-gloss, very dark undertones with browns. The second one is exceptionally matte with much more ash gray shading. They both have the same stockings in the back. They both have fairly similar overall color, but when you put them next to each other, you can definitely see the variation. So they both stay on the shelf. Then we move on to swaps, another example of variations. And I guess I can't say I only do this with Maureen Love. That's just an excuse. So this guy, the first one in front, is much redder. The guy in the back is much more kind of an ash brown color. And I like the molds, I like Maureen Love sculpts, and when they're next to each other on the shelf, again, you can definitely tell the difference in the red brown and the brown brown. Now these 2 Man-O-Wars are actually different. This is the original run Man-O-War. He's probably my favorite of the classic. No, that was the Mustang Stallion. Okay, he's my second favorite of the classic Maureen Love sculpts. And he's just really nice in his red bay. And then this is the Hobby Center Toys special run. And the only way pretty much to tell the difference between these 2 is in the star. He has the broken star. This guy just has a single star on his forehead. So the swaps are actually different. This is, I think, a QVC special run, Ladies of the Bluegrass, in a really nice gray color. And then this is the original swaps. So I need to find a variation of swaps so that I can keep 2 identical horses on my shelf. But this is the original swaps with the star and the front stocking, and just another nice sculpt by Maureen Love. So we'll move into the traditionals now. This is the Henry the Fjord mold, and Just About Horses did a special run called Naughty or Nice. Doesn't look like they're marked on the bottom. This is Naughty. He's in a dark blue with the blue snowflakes. Really, really cute. And then this is Nice. I think they made like 1,000 of each. And he's in the white with the gray blue stars. So that was a fun little special run that they did. I think it was random which one you got. I think I got Nice, and then I had to spend a couple of years looking for Naughty. So this is the Western Pony. Found this one at an antique store, and it's one of the original from the Sears JCPenney Wards catalogs This was a child's kind of organizer. It could have a file, comb, a nail file, nail clippers, toothbrush. It was called like a vanity organizer. And this variation of the vanity organizer with the tooling on it, this is plastic, but it looks like it's tooled leather, is a really, really cool variation. So I need to get the bits and pieces for that. This was my mom's best friend's horse. She stayed with us for a little while she was moving houses, and she saw my collection. She actually stayed in my bedroom where I had all my horses, and she said, "Oh my God, you have so many horses." And so she chose to give me her original Breyer horse. This is the Western pony with the slip-on saddle and palomino, so I have to keep it to remember Amy. And then this is the original Breyer racehorse, also known as Turf's Queen. This one I got from another collector. This is the 4-stocking variation with the original plastic saddle, race saddle with the snap. And this was back in the olden days of Just About Horses. So you saw the ad in Just About Horses and you sent the person a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then they sent you back what they had for sale, and then you had to write them back another letter and said, "I'm interested in this one if he's still available." And then they wrote you back and said, "Yes, he's still available." And then you had to send him a money order. You had to go to the post office and get a money order. This was long before PayPal or credit cards. And so this is one of the few original horses that I bought from a hobbyist back in the early days. And then this is a wood grain racehorse. I really love the wood grain. I love this mold. I had the original Just About Horses special one in dapple gray too. And he's just so cool. This is actually a copy of, this mold is actually a copy of a grand wood horse. And so when I saw the racehorse in the wood grain finish, I had to have it, but I had no need for it. I mean, I have a collection of way too many horses. And actually a friend of mine, we were talking about how much I love the wood grain horses and the grand wood horses. And he said, this one's in pretty poor condition. He's got lots of marks and lots of paint, and not a lot of people have a lot of love for the racehorse mold, so he actually ended up giving me this horse. And so I have to keep him in the collection because someday I'll find the grand wood horse that he is copied off of, and I'll keep those two together. And in the meantime, that will be the end of this week's Breyer model horse collection. Next week is week 5. Should be exciting. See you then.